Hey guys, what's up? In today's video I want to talk a little bit about the state of PUBG. About 1.5 weeks ago we got a tweet from Player Unknown where he said something along the lines of, guys, you're going to be very excited about our new update, we're going to announce it soon, we're going to listen to the fans and do all the things you want us to do. So people were a bit puzzled, they were like, what does that mean? Because he didn't go into any specifics saying what they're going to improve, what they're going to look at. Well, now this morning they did. They've tweeted from the official PUBG Twitter account the following. They're saying, fix the game. This is a phrase we've been hearing a lot lately. So today we're announcing a new campaign entirely focused on addressing bugs, quality of life improvements, and fundamental performance improvements. Learn more at fix.pubg.com. Now, the first thought when I read this was like, why did this not happen earlier? Like, why is this happening now? This is a bit suspicious, right? It's a bit odd. And then my first thought following on from that was basically, okay, so let's look at the player stats, the Steam stats for Player Unknowns Battlegrounds. And if you look at that here on steamcharts.com, you can see that since February 2018, they've been losing players every month. And those are quite significant numbers, minus 12%, minus 14%, minus 20%, So it's not looking good, right? And if you're a game developer who comes from a successful game like Player Unknowns Battlegrounds, you know, this is really concerning. So I think, one of the reasons why they now suddenly seem to like to address all these issues and create like this roadmap, because if you go to the actual link, fix.pubg.com, then you can see they have this roadmap going on where they talk about performance issues and server performance and anti-cheat and basically trying to address all the things that people are complaining about. So I think one big reason why they're doing this now and haven't done this before is because players are melting away, right? This game is getting smaller and smaller and less popular and less popular. The other reason, I think, why this is happening is because just recently the big tournament, the PUBG Invitational Esport Tournament in Berlin has commenced. And as a result of that, I've seen a lot of tweets where people are like, guys, everyone's seen that your hitboxes suck, right? We can see that this game has massive issues. It's not just the hitboxes, it was frame drops. It just didn't look good at this esport event that they did, which is obviously an event where they want their game to shine and they want it to look really good. So I think that's the second reason, right? One is that the players are going away and the player base is shrinking like crazy. And the other is that everyone's seeing now, the whole world was witnessing how the hitboxes screw up and how the game has massive issues. So those two things, in my opinion, led them to take this action, trying to save their game, basically initiate this whole campaign of Fix PUBG, give it a dedicated website, introduce a detailed roadmap, showing how they're going to fix client performance issues, address server performance, address cheaters, matchmaking, and basically all the points that people want them to fix. But if you go down, and they do go into quite a bit of detail, into this breakdown of what all this jazz means, you can click, for example, client performance and just read the beginning of this paragraph here. The average FPS for players has seen improvements since Q1 2018, yielding an average 60 FPS on minimum system requirements. I was like, what? That's not what I'm hearing. If I'm playing with some friends who have minimum system requirements, they have never seen 60 FPS in their life, all right? And then they continue, and 80 FPS on recommended systems. The problem is that FPS would intermittently drop under 60 about every 10 seconds on average, which significantly harms your experience. Now, this is just not true. If I talk to people who play this game on slower machines, they are happy if they get 30 FPS, and they still experience those frame drops every 10 seconds. On top of that, all the new maps, like the new map, what's it called, Sanhok or something, this jungle map that they released, seems to perform much worse than the first two maps. So there's something wrong, and to say that on the minimum system requirements you get 60 FPS, it's just a lie. It's just not true. And I think that already shows that their head is in a completely different space than the head of most players. I think they are doing this to give people or give the players something to look forward to, basically to make a statement to say, we're working on it, guys. It's not that we're ignoring you, we're working on it. And I just feel, looking at their player base melting away on these Steam stats, I mean, I don't know about the Xbox players, this is just Steam obviously, but looking at those numbers and looking at the outrage that happened after the Invitational on Twitter, it just seems so pretentious. You know, it seems so pretentious. It feels like they are kind of trying to save what they can still save. It doesn't feel to me like they actually want to fix the game, because if they would have a genuine interest in fixing the game, then this campaign would have introduced a year ago. All right, because all those issues were there. Everyone was already very verbal about the issues, but at that time they had a giant player base, so they're like, you idiots are playing it anyway, right? So why would we fix the issues? You know, screw you guys. Let's work on a new map or whatnot. It just feels so pretentious, and it feels so wrong, this whole campaign. Now, do I think that this will actually fix the game in the long run? Because down here, or I think it was on the top, they say, Fix PUBG is a months long, so not 1 month, several months long campaign to deliver the changes and improvements that you've been asking for. We've created a roadmap with specific details about our plans, and we intend to update it as we go, checking things off as we deliver on our promises. Check out the full details below. So feel free to go to this website. Feel free to read through all the details. I'm not a game developer, so I can't really give very concrete or helpful insight on this, but I can say what I feel about it. Now, my feeling is, for example, I made a video about DayZ Standalone when that game came out in 2013, I think. I made a video about this when it was out about 1 year ago, and you could roughly see how it developed. And my point in that video that I made at that time was that DayZ will never be finished. That game will never come out of the early access mode that it currently has. And now we are, I think, like 5 years down the road. This is the DayZ store page. Mostly negative reviews. All reviews are mixed. Released 2013. It's still in early access, and it literally was never finished. I acknowledge that they did quite a few significant improvements on it, and that it is not as bad as it was 5 years ago. I get that. But the reason why I said at the time that this game will never make it out of early access or never see the improvements that people hope to see was because there are technical limitations to game engines. DayZ Standalone is, I think, based on a heavily modified version of the Arma 2 engine, and in the Arma 2 engine, to have 50 players and all of them have different systems, you know, some have a fast computer, some have a slow computer, some have very fast internet, some have slow internet speeds, and you have to synchronize all that to work without any lag and generate all these hitboxes. It's just physically not possible in that engine, and I think PUBG has a similar problem. Now, PUBG is based on the Unreal Engine. I know it's a completely different ball game than the Arma engine, but nonetheless, having 100 players on such a big map and constantly needing to update every player's location and sync it with all the other players' computer and taking into consideration their performance limitations and making that work as smooth as people want it to work is, in my humble opinion, just not possible. So I think what PUBG Corporation is doing here is just silencing the fans. They're putting a little red flag out there that says, guys, we're working on it, we're going to address it, but this will not fix PUBG. This is their attempt trying to save their reputation, their attempt to get the fans to kind of, to basically buy a bit more time from the fans so they don't leave the game behind right now and have a little light on the end of the tunnel, and hopefully they're going to address it. I'm not saying they're not going to fix anything, but will they fix it to a state where people say, oh wow, look at this, they fixed all the issues we had and now it's a really good playable game? It's not going to happen, because if that would be possible, if that would be a thing that is achievable as they describe it in a few months down here, in like a small campaign over a few months with a roadmap, then they would have done that a long time ago, right? And they would have put out this campaign a while ago. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is just them trying to buy more time. But guys, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Is this something that's going to happen? Are they going to be able to fix the game? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'd really be interested in hearing what you think about this step that PUBG is taking. Is it going to bring PUBG back? Is it going to fix the bugs? Will it make the game as popular again as it used to be? Or has that train left the station? Also, let me know, what are your main issues with PUBG? Is it the frame drops? Is it connection issues? Is it the hitboxes, which is my biggest issue? I shoot people in the face and nothing happens, and then they give me one headshot and I'm dead. And it's super frustrating. I don't want to play this game if it doesn't work properly. So leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, do all the things. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Bye.